Let me just check. Okay, yes, we are online. So, in today's video, I will be playing Digimon Hacker's Memory. While I do this, I will be talking a little bit about Digimon Ghost Game. Because, I believe this is the right one. Because it's kind of a weird anime, really. It has all the premise to be a really good one, but then it kind of misses the kind of just falls a bit short. So, with Digimon Ghost Game, a lot of the promotional for it was all around the Vital Bracelet, which at the time was the newest Digimon toy gimmicky thing to come out. At the time, it was okay. It was pretty fun. If you could afford or manage to find all the little Digimon Dims, you can have different Digimon. And then they evolve and change depending on how many steps you do, if you battle them with other people who's got Digimon, or if they battle Digimon in the game. It was pretty good. Unfortunately, the actual ones themselves weren't very accurate, so if you just shake, your wrist was just like waving or shaking, it counted that as a step. As the bracelet's lifespan went on, they did bring out slightly better versions where you can have more Digimon on or anime characters on your device, your little virtual bracelet, which is pretty cool. However, in the show, what was quite interesting, and I think it was the first episode, maybe the second episode. I believe it was the first. It might be the first or second one. Actually, it might be the third one. So, essentially, their hero, the main character's dad, Hero is the main character of Digimon Ghost Game, along with Gammamon, who is his Digimon psychic / brother. He's essentially the Agumon of the show, where yeah, I mean, so Hero's quite likable. He's quite fun. His voice in the English dub is a little bit jarring at first, but you can kind of get used to it after a little while. Same with Gammamon. Gammamon, like early Gammamon, is quite childish. He does have like a darker, evil side to him, which is a little bit more entertaining. He's a little bit kind of like raspy and kind of punk-esque. Gammamon is kind of weird though, because he has like 3 different champion level evolutions, which is quite weird. I know he has 3 different champion evolutions. He has one which is like a air flying type one. Yeah, so he has one that can like fly, which is blue. He has a like this green one, which is more of a tank, and then he has like his base normal good line evolution, which is I think it's Beta Gammamon or something like that, which is like a red, which is basically him if he was kind of more like Vidramon. Kind of gives me Flametramon vibes, to be honest, with his like fire punch attacks that he does. And then of course they have like, he has his dark version where he goes slightly evil, which I think is Gullis Gamamon, where he's like kind of like his red alternate mode, his red champion mode, just black, and he has like a cape and is a little bit more evil and sharper. But yeah, I always kind of wondered, and I never really got an answer from the anime, whether the reason why he had 3 different champions, it was because Hero inserted the 3 different dim cards which were left in the box with his Digivice. Was that because he injected them into the Digivice and it affected his evolution somehow? I don't know. It would have been interesting to find out, especially like the thought of thinking what the other 2 main characters Digimon could have been if they would have had like, I don't know, maybe they would have had a like alternate gun ability or fire ability, or maybe flying. It would be interesting. I mean, you could literally have had a railgun for Tesla Jellymon. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a. It's really hard because I would like to recommend Digimon Ghost Game because it does have some quite fun moments. It is very much not Pokemon, in the sense that it's not really afraid to be dark. So, a couple standout episodes for me. You have a few Halloween themed episodes. So you got one where you have the Pokemon Pumpkinmon, who is one of my favourite Pokemon. And while all of the children of Tokyo, I think it's Tokyo that is based in, probably Tokyo, while all the children of Tokyo are celebrating Halloween, obviously they are putting jack-o'-lanterns out, decorations and things like this. Pumpkinmon, who is a Digimon with a pumpkin for a head, he sees all these lovely pumpkins everywhere that have been carved and thinks it's a celebration for him. This goes very, very badly, as you can imagine. He basically, I think, kidnaps loads of children at one point, sticks pumpkins on their heads, and carves out eyes and mouths. Not out of the face, because that'd be horrific, but like on the pumpkin while they're wearing it, which is quite scary. Yeah, this is children, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, so it was quite kind of intense. But thankfully, due to the power of Talk No Jutsu, the main character manages to talk down the Digimon and explain the human ways of why it's kind of, you shouldn't really do that. They do that quite a lot with a lot of the episodes of Digimon Ghost Game, where you have a situation where a Digimon has, I don't know, they've gone in a museum and they thought mummification is how you treat the ill, or I don't know, just off the top of my example. Another Halloween one, they see loads of people dressed as witches and want everyone else to become a witch as well. It's kind of situations like that, and then sometimes you do get other situations which I kind of like a little bit more, where you have a human that's actually interfering with a Digimon. So like, I believe there was one where you had a bunch of Chromon obeying a human as well, and then you had one where you had this woman who was trying to research this Digimon, and the Digimon was going evil because this woman was kind of essentially torturing this Digimon without realizing. So the Digimon kind of put a signal out, and the signal was driving all the other Digimon crazy, and turning them kind of bug-like and just mental. It's really weird because how many episodes is there? So for a series that has about 67 episodes, I want to say about like the last probably the last 5, if I'm being generous, actually connect to the finale. So towards the end, you have a lot of these Digimon who are like have been recolored black, and like so they are kind of perceived as evil Digimon, or they've been like powered up, and nobody quite understands why. They kind of leave that mystery to the very end to really explain it. The same with Gammamon and his darker half. But because they've left it so long, by the time you get there, you're not really invested in what happens. And it just kind of wraps up really fast. So I kind of wish they would have kept the Monster of the Week approach. Because after you've had about 50-60 episodes of like, we have a monster to deal with this week, what's the next one? Okay, let's deal with that one. Yeah, you're kind of used to it at that point. Like, it'd be different if it was a case of like they split the season in half and now have 30 episodes or maybe 20 of Monster a Week, and then have some more lore heavy stories, like have some stories set on the Digi world, or more about Hero's dad, or the other 2 characters. But they don't really seem to do that. I mean, most of the stories happen in our world, the human world. They do have like a way with the virtual bracelet where you press a button in the anime anyway, where you press a button and you can kind of make a digital world layer on top of the human world. They do that a few times. But it's something that's kind of rare, and they don't, until you get towards the later half, they don't tend to use that feature as much. And then when they do use it, it's usually just to either contain a Digimon, or to fight a Digimon, or to hide from a Digimon. So yeah, I kind of even wish they would have either cut the series down a bit, like really good episodes I genuinely like. So there's a kind of cute, wholesome Digimon, which is like a monkey puppet Digimon, and it is essentially haunted this spa retreat. And they have to kind of explain to it the concept of death, which is quite heavy, but again, it's kind of works for Digimon. But then you do get ones which are a little bit out of place. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't really intrigue me. I do kind of wish it had a little bit more love. But yeah, Digimon is going through like a really strange phase at the moment. So it's kind of been a little bit asleep for a while, but now it's kind of like picking back up again. Because you have Digimon, which was quite popular. I think the only problem with Ghost Game is it took them a pretty hot while to get it dubbed, and then when it did get finally dubbed in English, it bizarrely only went on English to the BBC, as far as I'm aware. They might have moved it other places, but as far as I'm aware, that's the only place you can watch it in English. I don't think Crunchyroll has it in English. They might do, but haven't noticed it. Um, I think you had Digimon Liberators at the time as well, which was a manga story-esque or drama you could follow. But yeah, I mean it's slowly starting to come back in more into focus, especially when you have the newest at Digimon anime, which is Digimon Beat Breaker. That also has vital bracelets in it, strangely enough. I don't know how much for longer though, but they do have them in there somewhere. That one is quite popular. Bizarrely though, if you live in the UK, you don't have the dub. At least I haven't found it anyway. I think America has a dub on Crunchyroll, but I don't know. I don't think we've had it yet in the UK, at least. But I mean, from what I've seen of the Japanese dubbed, it's pretty good. And of course, you've got Digimon Time Stranger, which is a really fun game on PC, PS5, and Xbox, and soon Switch 2 and Switch, which I'm definitely gonna have to get my hands on that when that comes out because it looks really fun. And I'm a big fan of the Boncho Digimon lines, and they got a DLC with the Boncho lines, so I'm gonna have to definitely get my hands on that. Where should we go? We will go. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for Time Stranger as well, just because like it's kind of cool that they haven't ignored all the other past Digimon games. So you still have, obviously you have costumes as well. So like in this game, Digimon Hacker's Memory, if you really want to, you can dress up as like the characters from the previous games. We can now go to hospital. I'll go to Boy, yeah. Should we go to hospital? Let's go to hospital. And I'll run around and probably do go to places I'm not meant to be yet. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of nice when you have items and characters from previous games. Reoccurring and like visiting. So oh dear me. Yeah, I mean it is because I think Digimon's kind of a weird one where their games are quite popular, but they don't really have. It's really hard because they don't really have like the they haven't got like their diamond in a pearl or like a like one game which is perfect without any faults. Like Hacker's Memory and Digimon Cyber Sleuth are really good games, but they are quite long. And especially towards the end of the game, if you do not or haven't figured out how to train your Digimon very well, and haven't if you've just been evolving them randomly, because I don't know, maybe you just wanted Agumon and you didn't realise you needed to like evolve him down and up, digivolve him up and down to get like Wolcraemon. That might Alright, might wind you up for a little while. Can't get down there yet. And also, it's a little bit annoying that this is essentially your I'm hoping they fixed little quality of life things like that in the newer games. As someone who has played Digimon Dawn and Dusk, you would be grateful to have a map like this, because you do not have a map like that in these ones. You're lucky to get a map. So I mean, the games are getting a lot better. And I think where Digimon are working on the quality of their games, and Pokemon's kind of not so much gone relaxed, but I think because they know if they put a game out, people will come. I think they kind of got a little bit too comfortable with that. Because Pokemon can't. Pokemon and Nintendo and Game Freak can do like really good games if they really want to. I think sometimes they just need to kind of bite the prideful bullet and either get outside help with like some of the shading and lighting, or spend a little bit more time on the game, because people really rip into ZA. Like, I haven't had as many glitches on ZA as I've had in Scarlet and Violet, but I do find it really strange how in Pokemon Sword and Shield you still have reflections of the window, you still have stuff going on in the background and NPCs moving and Pokemon moving. But as the games go along, suddenly that disappears, strangely enough. You still had it had that sort of stuff in Legends Arceus as well. But then again, even Legends Arceus wasn't the perfect game. You still had like Pokemon that glitch in and out of reality. But yeah, I think it's not a. I don't think CA is an awful game. I think it has some. It has the groundwork to be a good game. I think it either just needed a little bit more time to polish off those kind of little pet peeves that would people kind of really stuck it out for, or maybe just kind of like find a workaround a little bit more, because I don't know how effective it was to have the whole map animated constantly compared to just a one section that you're in and then have it load in. I mean, it does kind of fix the problem that people are having where, like on Scarlet and Violet, where you'd be trying to climb up something and it's loading behind you as it's climbing, which is pretty bad. Especially for like a Pokemon game where Pokemon is not like, they're not a small company. They are like they know how to make games. They've been making games for years at this point. So yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. I'll just go in here for a minute. But yeah, I am kind of one of those people. Like, I'm not all just Digimon. I do like my Pokemon as well. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. But even I have to admit, like, the games that the last couple of years have kind of been, I don't know, they haven't quite been hitting as hard as like they really could do. Like, so like I was really expecting maybe a DLC for Legends Arceus or something like that. We never had DLC. Which, yeah, I get it. We don't need it for everything, because then it'll just kind of loses the value of the actual game itself. But it is kind of weird when you have so many... let's try going to hospital now. I can't remember where I'm meant to be going. Shiny. But you know, I am pretty much a fan of Digimon and Pokemon. But I do feel like Digimon has... to download, you need at least 6... Okay. I'm gonna have to make some space so I can get my DLC Pokemon. But yeah, you have like costumes you can get from other games, which I haven't unlocked yet because I haven't bought the costumes. But yeah, no, I do think that Digimon is starting to get like a nice new. It might be heading to another renaissance. Not renaissance, sorry. A nice new age of Digimon, let's say. Because the Digimon card game is pretty popular. You also have. Let's go to lab. Because you have constantly bringing out new versions of the card game with different characters and skins and alternate modes. You need to talk to the person in there. Okay. I'm getting lost in the game again. This is another thing another little pet peeve with some of the Digimon games. You get lost a lot. But yeah, no, I do think that Digimon is slowly for the longest time, Pokemon kind of overshadowed everything. And it's not just Digimon. Things like Yokai Watch, despite being completely different to Digimon and Pokemon, people just kind of saw it and just thought, okay, just a Pokemon clone. Digimon's kind of done enough now where it's definitely separated itself enough. So it's a little bit more darker than Pokemon typically. Although seeing some of the Pokemon deck entries are pretty dark as well. But yeah, I mean it's quite interesting to see some of them. I would definitely like to see some of the older games ported to the Switch though. Because things like Digimon Dawn Dusk, Digimon Story, those you could port to the Switch 1 quite easily. And then the only thing is you'd probably have to change on that is just either give the player a speed button so you can actually run, or just a map. That would be the one thing I would like if they did a port. Just give me a map. Just so I know I'm not going around the same loop 4 times. But yeah, I do think Digimon's slowly making a comeback. He's definitely coming back pretty hard. I think the only thing it's kind of lacking in at the moment, I would say, is in toys. Because it's mostly cards and games, which, admittedly, that is probably the best area for Digimon, because it kind of leans itself to card games and cards, anime, and gaming. But it would be nice to get like some actual toys of some of these Digimon. Because I think there are some Digimon where they haven't really done many toys of. Like I know they've done a few like Tamagotchi Digivices recently, based on like the OG Digivice, but this time in colour, which is nice. It's nice seeing like modern Digimon with like classic sprites. But it would be nice to actually get like some like really cool toys or something. Something that would be quite fun if they did manage to do it. I don't know if they ever would. I'd love them to do a collab with like Mega Bloks or Constructs. Just because it'd be interesting to see what they would do with Digimon IP. Because their Pokemon aren't too bad. Like they're a lot cheaper than the official Lego ones. But a couple of them are, I would argue, is better, especially the Charizard. Like that kind of rubbery wings look really cool. So, yeah. Also, it would be quite cool to get like some collabs as well. So, I know with Digimon Time Stranger, they did have a strange collab band. That kind of makes me laugh because it reminds me of the old days of Kamen Rider X8, where they crossed over with the evil force of Dr. Pac-Man because Bandai Namco paid them to do so. I think they also had Centipede as well. If I remember it right, they had Centipede. But yeah, I mean, the future Digimon is looking pretty bright. I mean, Pokemon as literally kind of much as people complain about ZA, I don't think it's affected the game, like the Pokemon brand, enough that people just lost interest. They've actually done a collab recently with the London Museum, the Natural History Museum in London, Kensington, where they actually had like a pop-up shop where you can go, you get a ticket, you can go in, spend extortionate amount of money on Pokemon merch, and then you can visit the museum, do your bit, see what you want, take some photos, and then you get like Pokemon merch matches in the museum. It's completely sold out. Every time I've looked, it's been sold out, or people like buying the merch is like extortionate prices. So, I mean, just going on with that, I don't think that Pokemon's dead and buried and people lost interest. I think by the time they bring out the next game, probably on Switch 2, people would have probably forgotten or just moved on. Because you can kind of be a bit more forgiving when it comes to the Legends games, because there's supposed to be games where the Pokemon Company can kind of be a bit more experimental, and they're not as restricted to your traditional Nintendo traditional Pokemon games that they usually have to make. But I mean, they have kind of been mixing it up a little bit over the recent couple of years. So we'll have to see what they do. Wormon! I love Wormon. Alright, the Avalon server. Oh, I got mail. Also, where's Digimon Line? She actually does return in Time Stranger as well. At least I think it's her. She looks a lot younger than what she does in here. Let's go there. Alright. Let's see if we can get in. We're in. Anyway, back to this actual game that I'm actually playing. So with this one, I have kind of got a slightly more. I've tried to be a bit more kind of change my approach up a bit with my team, because I kind of want to use Digimon I didn't really use the first couple times around on my playthrough of the original Sleuth game, or on my Switch, because I got this game on my Switch, which I've nearly beaten, but I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, I will show you my team quick. Let's go into my Digimon. We have this guy who, let me get him up. So first we have this one who originally evolved from my Lock Bunny. We have Seedramon, because I really want to metal Seedramon. And we have Birdramon over here. Naamon, I probably butchered the name. That one will turn into a Gatomon eventually. Gabumon, obviously. He's at max level as well, so I need to evolve him. I didn't realise that. I need to go to the Digimon lab so I can evolve him. Whoopsie. So yeah, this was like this. I just kind of want to chat about Digimon really, because it's kind of weird. I don't really get to. Digimon is weird because it's popular, but it's a little bit slightly niche compared to actually. Yeah. Frigimon! My snow bear. How are you looking? You've got 2 more levels. You've just evolved. You got a while yet. You got a while yet as well. So. Do I have any... I constantly have to check because I keep forgetting to actually activate some of these abilities. Right, how am I looking for storage? Okay, so I've got a lot more space, so... Do we have another Digimon I can move in? That might help. Rapidmon might work good. And then... let's have... Patamon. Do you know? And I'll just stick with that. Anyway, I'm gonna play through a little bit of this with you, and then I will probably have a little break. Can I just run through? I don't know if I can. Apparently, I can. Where it's us against the wall. Meteor wing. I'm gonna regret fighting this thing now. You wait. Oh, maybe not. What else we got? Maybe that one. Wall is weak to water apparently, and ice, which I guess makes sense. Cement. Yeah, if you aren't able to play Digimon Hackers Time, sorry, if you're not able to play Digimon Time Stranger, I would definitely recommend either this one, which is Hacker's Memory, or Cyber Sleuth, because it's Digimon but in the style of like Persona. The only thing that downside with it is it is quite long. I need to be careful now, don't I? I need to pick someone. Combo. Oh, that was mean. I'm gonna carry on with Meteor Wing on that because it does seem to chip it down. I need to give you that though. Yeah, I have tried doing a Nuzlocke on this game before, but every time I've attempted it, I've gotten wiped out. Because it's really hard, because if you're just trying to Nuzlocke, so you can only have one Digimon per area, the areas can be quite large. And when you have, like, ones like this where it's puzzles, they all kind of pile up. So... there we go, we should be able to take them with just basic attacks, to be honest. Luckily. Right, I am gonna save the video here, I think. When I'm not inside one of my Digimon. There we go. Stop. Get out of the way, thank you. I'm going to save the video here, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to Random as Anime. And this was my Digimon catch-up. I just wanted to chat Digimon and kind of catch up with everyone. It's been a hot while. Thank you, and